piece is entitled Conversion. Very early on in my parents' marriage, my father fell in love with my mother's best friend, Marie, and they ran off together. Years later, my brother, who was 8, and I, who was 9, were sent to live with my father and Marie. My mother was experiencing a lot of financial and psychological difficulties. Just until I get back on my feet, she said. We were told another story, however. We were told that our mother had abandoned us. And for years after, we had no communication with her at all. I'd like you now to meet a woman who's very instrumental in this story, Marie's mother. They call me Nonny. Nonny is Italian for grandmother. I'm from northern Italy, you know, where they're cultured and educated. Not from southern Italy, like a lot of these Italians here now in Bensonhurst, Brooklyn. You know, they're not from northern Italy. No. My brother is a priest, God bless his soul. He's not with us anymore. I have 3 children, 2 wonderful sons, Anthony and William. One's a lawyer, one's an engineer. And I have a daughter, Marie. Now, Marie is very attractive. And when she was younger, she was kind of boy crazy. You know what I mean? And we were afraid she'd get into trouble. So we married her off quickly to Vincente. But unfortunately, that marriage was not a success. And would you believe it? Marie fell in love with a Jew. And she took off with him to live with him, that Jew bastard. And she couldn't have children. She had 3 miscarriages. So she decided she would take his 2 children. I warned her, nothing good could come of this. I told her, don't do it. She didn't listen to me. Now, Marie is in Florida. Oh, now I'm taking care of the Jew bastard's children. I have to take care of them. She left them with me while she goes to Florida to talk to her best friend about the relationship because the children put such a stress on their marriage. Oh, they're not married. You know, Catholics, we don't get divorced. You know that, right? Okay? So on their relationship, put such a stress on their relationship that now she has to decide whether she's going to stay with the Jew or leave him. Hey, you 2 kids, get to bed now. Tomorrow, Mrs. Salerno's going to come and take you to church so you can make your confession. The very next day, we walked to St. Athanasius Church where we met Father Joseph. Hey, you kids! I never saw you here before. You're not from this neighborhood, are you? Oh, no, Father Joseph, we're not. We're visiting from Maryland. We're visiting our Nonny, our grandmother, for 2 weeks. Oh, Mrs. Renner. Yes, I did hear that her relatives were coming up. Well, it's so nice to meet you kids. Why don't I walk you home to your grandmother and you can tell me all about yourselves? So we walked and talked all the way back to Nonny's. Mrs. Renner, what charming and well-mannered grandchildren you have. You think so, Father? Well, they're not my real grandchildren, and they're not really Catholics, Father Joseph. they're Jews. Oh no, Nunny. We're baptized and I receive Holy Communion. My name's Elizabeth Agnes, and Agnes is my confirmation name. Oh, Father, you see the way she interrupts and contradicts me? You see her? Oh. Father Joseph, you know my daughter Marie. You know her. Well, she left Vicente, her husband, and she ran away with that fat pig of a father of theirs. And, you know, and now, you know, now she's living in sin. Yeah, she's living in sin. She does her best, Father. She tries to take care of these kids, but they're impossible. Mrs. Renner, you know, all children have a lot of energy. And if they got out and did some fun things, you know, I think things would be a little better. You know, they tell me that they haven't been to a movie in years. I'd like to take them to the Marlboro. You know that movie theater down the block. I'd like to take them there. And you know, this wonderful, inspirational film is playing there called The Sound of Music. Well, Father Joseph was able to cajole Nunny into letting us go.
With the sound of music, with songs they have sung for 1,000 years. The hills fill my heart with the sound of music. My heart wants to sing every song it hears.
What joy. But that evening was not to end well. Look, Nunny, look at what Father Joseph bought me. He bought me this beautiful sweater, and he bought Frankie a t-shirt. Why would he buy anything for the two of you? Why, you're nothing but dirty Jews. And dirty Jews belong in hell. You know, they burn in hell. That's what happens to them. And your family's nothing but lesbians and whores. I'm not a dirty Jew. And I'm not like my family. I go to church every Sunday. And I take Holy Communion. And I'm a good girl. My name is Elizabeth Agnes, and I'm a good girl. I don't lie. I don't cheat. I don't steal. I'm Elizabeth Agnes. I'm a good girl, and I try my best. Give me that sweater. No, Father Joseph gave it to me. It was a gift. I'm not going to give you this sweater. It's mine. I said, give me that sweater now. And Nunny grabbed me and grabbed the sweater and pulled. Then she chased me to the door and pushed me out, screaming, get out of my house. I don't want you in my house ever again. And she slammed the door in my face, and there I was. It was pouring, raining out, cold. It was late at night. I tried to make myself comfortable in the stairwell of the building. I didn't know what else to do. And then a neighbor took pity on me and invited me into her house and let me sleep on her couch. Thank you. Early in the morning, I walked and walked and ended up at St. Athanasius Church, where I spoke to two nuns. Sisters, please let me stay here. I can't go back there. I can't. It's terrible there. You have no idea what goes on. Please, sisters, please let me stay with you. I'll do anything. nothing. I'll become a nun. Sorry, dear child, we can't let you stay here. You must go back. Put your faith in God, and we will pray for you.
The Lord is
The Lord is with thee. Blessed art thou among women, and blessed is the fruit of thy womb, Jesus. Holy Mary, Mother of God, pray for us sinners, now and at the hour of our death.
And at the hour of our death.
Amen. Where could I go? I knew I couldn't go back. I'm only 14 years old. I have no money. I have no friends. I don't know anybody here in Brooklyn. Wait. My mother's parents, my grandparents, my dear, dear, real grandmother lives in this neighborhood, or at least they did a few years ago when I last saw them. I'm gonna find them. And I walked really quickly to the block that I remembered as a child, and I did find it. I went inside and I started looking at the names on the mailbox. None I recognized. Maybe this is the wrong building. I started to go into every building on the block looking at the mailboxes and the names. I didn't see any. And then I did. My Aunt Esther. I rang the bell. A woman came out on the top floor and yelled down, "Who is it?" I started to answer, "Elizabeth Adden." No, she doesn't know that name. I'll say my Jewish name, my family name. Elizabeth, oh, Sarah Lee. Who? Sarah Lee! And she started running down the steps. Oh my God! Is it really you? You know how many years we've been looking for you? Your mother will be so happy. Sarah Lee.